Hi everyone, my name is Rostислав Ivanichek. I am ninth grade student of the basic educational institution of Klishkівці named after Leonid Kadенюka. Today we'll talk about my work, the theme of which is representation of Ukraine in contemporary English language discourse. Let's get started. For most of its history, Ukraine has experienced hard times and fought for independence. Our state has been repelling the aggressor for almost 10 years. All these events illuminate the global world media brightly enough, creating a certain character and informative space. The actuality of theme lies in the global information audience of many countries, which follows the news and forms a modern view of Ukraine, especially today when the war is also taking place on the informational front. The object of research is concept of Ukraine as a discursive phenomenon. The subject of research is transformation of Ukraine's image in the English language media under the influence of Russian aggression. The objectives of the study are to analyze such terms as concept, discourse, news, to determine the role of the modern informational space in shaping the image of the state, to study the most famous English language news, to analyze the image of Ukraine on the basis of BBC and CNN, to find out how the image Ukraine is the capital of great people becomes a brand of the country, to analyze and to summarize lexical items that indicate the formation of a positive, negative, and neutral image of the state. The aim is to identify the components of the image of Ukraine in the global media platforms and to determine the peculiarities of creating the image of Ukraine at the present stage. Here we got some definitions that are necessary to know to continue. A concept is a formulation, a general idea, or an opinion. News is information about an event or set of events that is new or unusual within a particular industry. Discourse is the unity of speech and the situation in which it takes place. News discourse is a type of communicative discourse. A linguistic and cultural concept of Ukraine based on authentic sources of interpretation. In Oxford English Dictionary and in Cambridge Dictionary there is the term Ukraine is a country in Eastern Europe. In the American Heritage Dictionary, Ukraine is a country of Eastern Europe bordering on the Black Sea. In Merriam-Webster there are two names for Ukraine, Ukraine and Ukraina, and there is the definition that it's a country in Eastern Europe on the northern coast of the Black Sea. So at the conceptual level, the concept of Ukraine is expressed by such cognitive features as country, Eastern Europe, Black Sea, and Northern. The most famous English language news is the New York Times, The Guardian, Associated Press, Financial Times, the Washington Post, etc. Almost every media outlet has a section on the Russia-Ukraine war. In the 2022 rankings, BBC News and CNN International top the list. According to top 50 biggest news websites in the world, in early 2023, internet users mostly read news on their website. BBC News is one of the largest broadcasting companies in the world, which is constantly updated with news from around the world. The main website of the US broadcaster is filled with various news articles and is divided into thematic subsections. An interesting fact is that this website has a separate subsection of the news called War in Ukraine and now the section Israel-Gaza War. We can see that the world really supports Ukraine. The words Ukraine will never be alone appear in an article in which the UK promised financial support. CNN is also one of the world's leading broadcasters known for quality journalism and accurate coverage of events. CNN was the first in the world to offer the concept of continuous round-the-clock news broadcasting. This TV channel is quite content-filled with news about Ukraine and forms an interesting image which we are currently researching. The site features a variety of articles and is divided into thematic sections with stories on news, business, entertainment, sports, travel, and style. One of the articles also addressed support for Ukraine. Russia can't beat Ukraine. The image Ukraine is the capital of great people generally consists of Armed Forces of Ukraine, charitable foundations, and Ukrainian media. On this slide presented the words we meet along with mentioning Ukraine. For example, Europe, protesters, Crimea, Ukrainian forces, independence, a landscape of sunflower, yellow and sky blue, country to be freed, under fire, defend heroes, injured fighters to front line, revolution to donate, and so on. In the bottom, we can see lexical items. Some of the positives one are the medics, Ukrainian air defenses, to win, solution. Some of the neutrals, the country, parliament, Europe, G20 leaders, and last one, negatives are beaten by the war, seeking to wear down Ukraine crisis, the fiercest fighting, Russian occupation, blood and dirt. After analysis of 30 English language articles, we came to the conclusion that Ukraine has proved to be a strong and indestructible state but needs help. The words that we find most often in the media show the formation of Ukraine's image. To win the war, military force supplying Ukraine with weapons, money, the Ukrainian army, large-scale missile attack, a beaten by the war, freedom, incredible Ukrainians, courageous, proud, bomb shelters, Russian invasion, the invasion of Ukraine, Russian aggression, independence, etc. 35% of lexical items reveal the image of Ukraine as a victim country. However, 55 of them indicate that the image of the state is improving. That is why we can proudly say that Ukraine is the capital of great people, the country of the strongest and bravest people. Thanks for your attention. Goodbye.